What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and Planet Coaster. We are here today in my Kings Falls park. Kings Falls is a park I've been designing for about, I'm going to say 8 months or so. It's slowly growing. It's definitely a work in progress, but I work on it when I get a chance, and it is kind of designed around my own kind of version of Kings Island. Which is the park that I actually grew up in. Kind of going about once a year at least with my family, my cousins, all of that, as well as school trips and other things. So, you know, it's a park that, yeah, it's technically what I consider my home park. Even though I'm in Kentucky, you would think Kentucky Kingdom is, but nope, it is definitely Kings Island. That's how I consider it anyway. So the way I'm kind of thinking of this park is it's actually a what-if park, like an alternate universe. What if the makers of Kings Island and Kings Dominion made a third park? What if they made another Kings Park with the Eiffel Tower and stuff? And we're going to say it's in about Southwest Kentucky, and this is that design. Also, we're going to say they never sold out to Paramount and were never bought by Cedar Fair. What if they went through all of these years and just remained under Keko control? Keko is Kings Entertainment Corporation something. I don't know the abbreviation specifically for it. But that is kind of what my design is kind of revolving around. This way we get to keep the Hanna-Barbera stuff, which is one of my favorite things, you know, growing up at Kings Island that I used to see, you know, Yogi and the Jetsons and Flintstones and stuff and all of that. You know, they had some great ideas back in the day. It was a pure park, very pure at heart, I guess you could say. Very home style, not chained, you know, kind of like most of like Six Flags and stuff like that is, you know, and a very down to earth kind of way of looking at it. But yet they still kept the thrills and stuff too. I remember every year going to the park and just enjoying everything that I could. So what I've been working on here, as you saw in the last episode, we made a coaster over here in this area of the park that I'm heading into now. And what I'm thinking is this is going to be our Spanish area, kind of Mexico, Spain, anything revolving around in that. I call it Fiesta Village. I did get that name from Knott's Berry Farm, so yeah, I kind of steal the name a little bit. There we have the El Galleon. This was an older episode if you want to see the making of that, and well, not the making of, but if you want to see how that came together and everything, I do have a video just about that. But what we're going to do too is head over into this area. So as you can see, a lot of stuff has changed. Even if you was watching me on Twitch over the weekend, I think it was Friday night, I streamed like almost all day in Planet Coaster here, working in this park. There's a lot of stuff that I've added even since then. So you guys who watch the stream, you're seeing this for the first time. This is Fiesta Village is what I'm going to call it, because on the other side of the park we have Oktoberfest. So I felt like this was a great addition to the area. You can even see El Diablo kind of going up there behind all these buildings. Behind these buildings is actually going to be our work area, like the maintenance sheds and all that stuff like that. Basically the backstage area is all behind this, so all of these buildings have to hide that, and we even have a little wall over here that kind of keeps all of that out. Something else I noticed is there's not a whole lot of bathrooms in the park. When I built the park, I actually only put like 2 bathrooms in, and they're at the very beginning of the park at the entrance gates. So I noticed a lot of guests doing the pee-pee dance, so I had to go ahead and put some bathrooms in there. And this was a great spot to put them, so that's what I did. So I made the little bathroom area here and a little plaza here where people can sit and eat. And this right here is something I'm very proud of. I'm not sure about the colors just yet. I'm probably going to change some of the colors. But I am quite proud of it. It's like this fresco kind of fountain here. I really like that. That is one of my favorite things in this section of the park. And then we have the Mexcellente dining area over here, which they are having the Burrito Bonanza going on right now at the Mexcellente. I know Burrito Bonanza is actually one of the stores or one of the shops and stuff and food restaurants that they added into the game, but I like it just using them as a sign saying, hey, it's Burrito Bonanza over here, so burritos are like, I don't know, $6 a piece instead of the normal 8 right now. So that's about like park prices, right? And then over here we have another little area over here where the guests can eat. So mostly this is just a lot of filler space is what I wanted this to be, just to hide the backstage area. Just a big facade mostly, with the only thing that kind of having anything actually working or actual buildings that work being the Mexalente, and then over here we're going to have the shop for El Diablo. That's going to be the merchandising shop for the area. Every area will have at least one big shop in it, one restaurant, one flat ride, and one coaster. That's kind of what I'm thinking. They'll probably have more than that, but that's the big thing. I may even do a theater or something over here too. We will have to see what we can come up with. But one of the things I really like over here is I used a combination of arches, or archways I should say, to kind of make this really kind of cool area over here. I also used some art-shaped pieces to kind of fill in a couple of things there, and some of the pieces that we got from Vintage, I want to say those were in. I'm using some Theme Maker's Toolkit beams over here, as well as glass, to kind of make the opening windows here for our area. So El Diablo will exit through the gift shop and head over into this particular area over here, back out into this. And of course I've also got there you see El Galleon kind of doing its pace back and forth there. I also planted some flowers over here. I used some poplar trees kind of sunk into the ground, some ferns and some other stuff to kind of give it a Mexican Spanish kind of feel to it. Oh, there goes our train for El Diablo. So let's go ahead and let's check out what I built for El Diablo. You can kind of see the station or the queue and entry building kind of sticking out above it right there. But and yeah, I also need to put some barriers down to keep the guests from walking along the edge there and walking through terrain and other stuff. So as you can see, here we are. We're coming into the entry plaza for El Diablo, which is right over here. And I built this sign, and I'm not particularly, I think it's way too bright. It's like it's hot neon color and really burns the eyes, but it gets the point across. And I really wish that these weren't neon and we could kind of like paint these, but they are one color and we can't do anything against it. And the way that they're made, I had to kind of combine a few of the flame things effect for that, but I think it came out well. I was also trying to figure out a way to hide the back of it too, so I ended up coming up with just building up the wall behind it a little bit and making that work. Oh, and speaking of the wall, I've got this really cool kind of Aztec Spanish Mexican kind of fencing going on here. Oh, here comes the coaster. Actually, this is perfect. So I've changed the coaster up a little bit too. I kept the design basically the same, but I did kind of change a few things. So as it goes through the bat wing there into the corkscrew, somebody mentioned in my last video that the I think it was Coldplay 360 said that the corkscrew is way too soon after going through the Batwing, and I do agree with you, but all in all, the coaster looks really good the way it is, and I did not want to change that. I looked at alternatives. Joe K5 made like 3 different versions of the coaster for me. He took my design and made like 3 different versions of it, and I liked his designs quite a bit, but none of them were really kind of getting what I wanted to do with the coaster kind of done, which was the biggest complaint that I have with it is the mid-course brake run is just, I don't know. If we add more to the end of it, it just makes the mid-course brake run seem kind of weird. But anyway, we'll look at that in just a second. Right here, I want to show you our Spanish Mexican kind of church here. The mission kind of theme to it here with some Aztec stuff, kind of, you know, like some Spanish, I guess that's what it is, kind of designs and like borders and stuff on it. I really love how this came out. I took a design from I was looking through like Spanish or Mexican church, like ruined churches and things like that, and I come across one that I thought, oh, that looks really cool. It's kind of about what I wanted. All of them have very similar designs, but and then I kind of took that picture and made it my own, which this does have some really nice lighting on it at night, which lights up the gargoyle, but the gargoyle is actually supposed to be like a demon, so therefore, you know, El Diablo. I didn't put a cross on top of it because I felt that might be bad taste. I don't feel like a theme park would actually put a cross on top of any of their buildings. It still gets the point across that it is sort of a church, you know? You kind of get that feeling, or it could just be, you know, like a Spanish mission or something like that. I don't know, whatever. But we got the bell at the top, we got the little gates, I got 2 little pots which do have flames in it that light up at night, which look really cool. We did some fencing on each side of it, going down through there, and then it goes into the queue line. I'm going to zoom out now, so now you guys are going to see some stuff that behind the scenes stuff. So don't judge me on this stuff. It's not all done yet, but I wanted to kind of show you what I was doing with the rest of the building and stuff. So as you can see, the queue line is inside of there. I've even got space there, which I'm probably going to put in a priority pass line. But I wanted to kind of bring you around to the back of it to kind of see what we've done here. So there we go. I have put the borders on there. And it's got this nice kind of design running across the length of it. I've always noticed with the 2-meter stucco walls, they have these triangle designs in it, but I've never used them. I've never painted them. I always paint them the same color all the way throughout. They just use them as stucco walls. But I thought, let's use that to its advantage. It's there, we might as well use it. So I fooled around with a few colors, and I ended up liking those right there. It never fails. Every single time I start recording, I start yawning. Every single time. So here we have, I did some fencing, some custom fencing along the edge here, and also the roof is kind of a hacienda, kind of open air kind of roof there with some vines on top of it. I didn't finish the fence all the way down through here. I will get to it. I haven't gotten around to it just yet. And then we have this nice little area over here, which is kind of open and overlooking the grounds here. One thing I like about this is when you're inside and you're in line, you can see the double loops right there. So I like that a whole lot. I did do some kind of grass work and some other stuff outside here, so it looks like it's not really been taken care of very well, and that's kind of the effect I wanted. We put some rocks over here, some other stuff. I probably should have made some desert, but I used sawdust instead. Or it's actually like leaves, like dead leaves, but yeah, we'll say it's sawdust. You can only have so many textures when you're designing in the game, so I think, what is it, 6 at most, something like 6 or 8 is all you can have. So I had to work with what I had. I couldn't change out a spot. I kind of want to, but I couldn't. So one of the things I changed with the track is we moved the station slightly more at an angle, so I had to change out how it actually comes out of the station and hits the lift hill. The lift hill itself is the same. I didn't really change anything on that. Drops down into the double loops. One of the things I did as well is I did a service road down that comes off to the side over there and goes down through here. This is the way, if the trains happen to valley right here in the double loops, the service road is a good way to get over here to this walkway and get the people out if they happen to valley or whatever they need to do with the trains, to get the trains back on the station. We're going to add some transfer track. We're also going to custom support this coaster as well, specifically the lift hill. I don't know if we'll do the whole coaster, but definitely the lift hill and that entire area down to these loops here will definitely be custom supported. We'll for sure be doing that, as well as transfer track and some other stuff. So let's talk about some more stuff that I changed. Coming into the station right here, obviously this is where the transfer track is going to go. And then I did some S-curves, but we'll get to that in a minute. One of the things I don't like is the mid-course brake run. I feel is just, it's in the middle of the ride when you actually kind of think about it, but it's kind of, I would prefer it to be after the bat wings, but there was just no way. I couldn't find any way that I actually really liked to put those in there. I thought about maybe having it come off of here, instead of going up on top of this, maybe coming around into a kind of upward heel and then dropping down and then doing the bat wing backwards, like coming down this way through the bat wing over to the right and then coming down and up and then hit the mid-course brake run and down. And then we were going to go into the corkscrew rows, but the corkscrew rows would have been like way back in here, and I wasn't happy with that. So it is what it is. I also did some custom walkways up here too. The walkways, I did do the mid-course brake run slightly too small, but the way that it comes out through here, to do this at any other angle just wasn't working. This was the best way I could get it, so that it's not too tight of a curve right there. So then it hits the MCVR, drops down through the bat wing. Now, you did say that the corkscrew was too close, and I did say that I didn't want to change that, but I did move them back somewhat so that it's a longer space in between the bat wing exit and the corkscrew. And I made the corkscrew a looser corkscrew as well. So I use these alternate supports instead of doing custom supports for it. I use these right here. These are fine, in my opinion. I probably won't change these. I like these, and the park is getting piece heavy as it is right now, so I'll probably leave it as it is. But I originally had the corkscrew was a tighter corkscrew. Now it's a much looser corkscrew. That's kind of funny to say when you think about it. Then it comes out of that, and it goes through a helix, and then it goes through these two S curves. Well, at least one S curve, sort of. And then back into the station. So I'm going to zoom out, give you guys kind of a look at the entire coaster here. That way you can kind of see it. All in all, I'm generally happy with this. I literally spent, I think it was Wednesday night, I spent about 2 hours working on this coaster, redesigning it. And at the end of the 2-hour stream, I just changed it back to the way I had it, which is a couple of alternations. And that was all I ended up with. I'm pretty happy with this. I really like this coaster. I think it's going to work fine. It's not perfect by any means, but, you know, it's an Arrow coaster, so, you know, Arrow was known to design whatever the parks specified. Whatever it was they wanted, they would try to do it. Doesn't necessarily mean it always came out right. Drakenfire. But, you know, it is what it is. Arrow was a coaster company that was known to deliver whatever the park wanted. So if the park wanted this, then they would have done this. If they wanted that, they would have done that. So this is what the park kind of wanted. And they were looking at Demon, and they were looking at Vortex, and it is kind of a little bit of a cross between Vortex. It's got the inversions as same number as Vortex does. It's got the 2 loops. That's 2. Comes over here, drops into the Batwing. That's 3, 4. The corkscrew is 5, 6. That's 6 inversions altogether, so that is perfectly fine by me. So there we have it. We'll take one more look here at the signage, kind of overlooking the area here, the fencing, all of this. We'll take another look at the entrance for the Q building, all of that, and then we'll head back out over here. And I don't know what I'm going to do that direction yet. As you can tell, it's quite empty. Obviously, there's some stuff going on back there. But we'll get to that in another episode. I plan on going back to Silverwood. I know I said I was planning on going back to Silverwood like 2 episodes ago. But I've already started working back in Silverwood again. So I've got a coaster that I'm just doing the station for right now. So, and once again, here's the exit for El Diablo. Exit through the gift shop. Hopefully we'll sell some merchandise, some t-shirts, keychains, mugs, magnets, whatever. And then all of this area over here. This right here is kind of an entrance to the backstage area. So what they would do, you know, during maintenance hours or whatever they need to, they would move these chairs out of the way. So maybe this area of the plaza isn't always open for people to sit in. Slow days or whatever they needed, they may just move these chairs out of the way, just like they cars and stuff, or carts or trucks or whatever they need to, back into there. Yeah, this is looking pretty good, I think. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like I said, one of my favorite things here is, of course, this fountain that I did, this fresco fountain. I love that. We even kind of took some stuff from Main Street and kind of moved it over here as well to kind of work with that. I'm very happy how that turned out as well. And we got the bathrooms in there to keep the people kind of happy because they only had 2 bathrooms in the entire park. And that's going to be it. So one more look at El Galleon, and there we have Fiesta Village. That's it for this episode, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know some of you have suggested that you want to see me build these things. You want to go back to the time-lapse videos. I did give you a time-lapse video of the construction of the coaster last episode, so hopefully you were happy with that. But I also get a lot of comments that say I shouldn't do the time-lapse episodes, so it's kind of a hit or miss. For this one, you know, like I said before in one of my other videos, the reason I'm not doing time-lapse videos a whole lot anymore is because I don't have a whole lot of time to build and a whole lot of time to stream. So most of the time I have to build while I'm streaming, and with my 4K monitor and, you know, moving up to 4K and stuff, my graphics card can't handle running a recording software and the streaming software at the same time. In fact, when I stream, I have to turn the settings down so that it's not, you know, using as much graphics power. So I know we always have said that, you know, Planet Coaster is not GPU intensive, but a GTX 1070 can't handle OBS and running this game at the same time. It's running at like 100%. So hopefully we will be able to get a new video card here soon, probably within the next couple months, I'm thinking. I'm going to try to go for, I want a GTX 2080 Ti, but man, $1,200 is a lot to spend, so I'm probably going to go with just the 2080. The 2080 Ti would be the one I would want to get because it would kind of be future-proof for a while, and I prefer to be future-proof. But probably the way things are looking, I'm probably going to have to go with just a 2080. So, you know, hopefully, you know, I can get a few more donations, a few more patrons to kind of help cover some of the costs of that. And that way my videos and stuff can get better and I can bring out more quality to you guys. I'm already trying to do at least 3 videos a week, usually on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and weekends. If you guys haven't noticed, this past week I did a pretty good job of managing my videos and stuff. We got the Tropico videos going on during the week. I'm probably going to switch off and play some Surviving Mars here soon. We do have the brand new DLC coming out for Surviving Mars, which I'm quite excited about. We get to terraform Mars. I've been playing Tropico 6. You guys have seemed to be enjoying that series, so that's kind of cool. I like that you kind of like that. And I would like to get back more into City Skylines, so I've been messing around with that a little bit too, especially with City Skylines announcing the new DLC, the Campus DLC. That looks good too. Lots of new announcements. And you know, some people have asked me, will I be playing Planet Zoo when Planet Zoo comes out? That is a definite yes. Planet Zoo will probably be my second favorite game that I'll be playing on my channel. That I think my second most popular game, I should say. I think a lot of people are going to be tuning into my channel for some Planet Zoo stuff as well as Planet Coaster. But I am glad that you guys are liking some of the other stuff as well. I'll keep trying to bring more content to you guys as much as I can. And now I got the hiccups. That means it's time to go. Thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate you all. We've almost hit 2,000 subs. As of this very moment, I'm looking at 1,962. We are about 40 subscriptions away from having 2,000 subs on YouTube. That is a mile marker. I can't believe I've done it. We're so close, so I'm extremely happy, guys. This is all thanks to you. You guys are fans of mine. I know I can be a bit ranty. I know I can be, you know, a bit of an ass sometimes, but I'm glad that you guys do enjoy my videos. While, you know, right before we head out, I want to give you a shot of El Diablo there, looking right over the cantina of the area here, right over the Spanish Fiesta Village. Yeah, I can't even remember the name of it. I call it myself. We'll leave off with a shot of that. And you guys have a great rest of the week. Look out for some more videos coming from Tropico 6 this week and maybe some Surviving Mars as well. I will see you in the future, my friends. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thanks for watching. What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching the video. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button down below and click on the bell to stay on top of all my new videos and live streaming events here on YouTube. I also want to give a huge shout out to all the names you see on the right for their support through donations, Patreon, and through Twitch subs. If you would like to join their ranks and you are able, you can do so by clicking on any of those links in the video description down below. No worries though, if you don't like giving away money like that, you can still support the channel by purchasing games or anything through Greenman Gaming, through Humble Bundle, or through Amazon by clicking on my links and making your purchase. A little bit of that goes towards me to support the channel. If you still can't get enough of me, you can always check me out live on twitch.tv and stay up to date with me on Twitter as well. Now that's going to be it, but I can't say thank you enough for all your support here on the channel. Wherever you guys are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. See you later.